Hello friends, today we are going to discuss about India-China relations. So look, it's a very interesting topic, and this in this entire discussion we would discuss each and every aspect of Indo-Sino relations. So we will start from the very basic, that what do we understand by India-China relations. Then we will discuss some of the historical aspects of both the countries' relations. We would further discuss that how both the countries' relations shaped over the years, then how we can further strengthen both the countries' relations, and at last we would conclude. So, at the very outset, let me tell you that I'm going to give you the very basic understanding of both the countries' relations. I'm not going to give you many hard, fast, facts and figures. I don't use much heavy jargons. I will make this discussion much easy and in a much uh, concise manner. So, without wasting our time, let's start our discussion. So, first question, comes to our mind, that what do we understand by India-China relations? So, basically, India-China relations means a relation between People Republic of China and Republic of India. um, and if we look at the geographical position of both the countries, then obviously both the countries separated by Himalayan region. In the north, we have LAC, line of actual control, and in northeast we have McMahon line. If we look at the history, both the countries used to share Silk Route. Uh, China Silk Route used to pass through India to Western countries. Then, as we all know, that India got independence in 1947, and People Republic of China came into existence in 1949. At that point of time, both the countries were underdeveloped, working hard to become a developed country, and the race for that development, started. As our first Prime Minister, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, uh, uh, had a much cordial relations with China, as he used to say that Hindi Chini bye bye. There was a huge enchantment of this slogan. He also signed a very crucial Panchsheel agreement with China in 1954. That Panchsheel agreement means five principles to coexist with each other. And then subsequently, many events unfolded, like China invaded Tibet, India gave asylum to Dalai Lama, and then 1962, we all know that what happened in 1962. China attacked India. That was a huge scale war. India was not ready at that point of time, and obviously, and that was a huge debacle for India. India lost that war due to some intelligence failure. But yeah, later in 1968, RAW came into existence. Moreover, subsequent government made much efforts to improve relations between both the countries. Then Foreign Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee in somewhere around 1976, he made a visit to China, and then Rajiv Gandhi in late 1980s made a visit to China, and PV Narasimha Rao also made a visit to China. Then subsequent government made their efforts to improve both the countries' relations. But at the same point of time, many skirmishes and conflicts happened between both the countries in border areas, and somehow uh, entire relations between both the countries uh, were in roller coaster ride. So that was some of the historical aspects of both the countries' relations. Now let's come to the present day situation of both the countries' relations. So today we all know that after Doklam standoff in 2017, and especially in Galwan uh, clash in 15th of June 2020, that was a huge setback for both the countries' relations, as 20 of Indian soldiers lost their life in Galwan Valley, and after that, relations between both the countries, hit a new dip at that point of time. So um, yes, there are many frictions areas in LAC. Both the armies are there, stand out with each other, and that's why both the countries are facing much issues right now. presently both the countries, if armies are at standoff, then you can't uh, imagine a good cordial relations between both the countries. Both the countries are massing their troops in border areas, and China is releasing new maps where they are claiming Arunachal Pradesh as their own territory, but Arunachal Pradesh is inalienable part of India. So both the countries, you know, making much border developments, especially in eastern Ladakh. Uh, but subsequently, many military talks are also happening. Diplomatic channels are also working, at their full-fledged mode to improve both the countries' relations. But today we can say that both the countries don't have much good relations. But at the same point of time, both the countries making efforts, to improve relations between both the countries. So yeah, that's a present day scenario, layman understanding of present day scenario of both the countries' relations. Now let's talk about how both the countries can further improve their relations. So the first point is that LAC resolution. As we know that LAC, which lies in north of India, and which is, I would say, a very recently Galwan clash happened there. So why these things are happening? Because LAC is not demarcated. Both the countries have their own perception about LAC, and that's why China is making unilateral attempt to change the status quo in this eastern Ladakh. But India is not agreeing. Obviously, India will not agree with that, and that's why this long impending issue of LAC is the main cause of sour relations between both the countries. And another point would be that accept mutual coexistence. Till the time both the countries don't, mm, find ways and means to, cooperate with each other to make efforts for the mutual coexistence, unlikely to see changes on the ground. So both the countries should uh, discuss about it and make um, that Panchil agreement more sound and robust. That's also a way forward. Third point would be military dialogue and this diplomatic dialogues. These are very essential. Channels should be open completely. Yes, both countries are part of many international platforms like BRICS, G20. So both the countries should use these such kind of platforms to do bilateral talks in order to improve their relations. So this is another way forward. Fourth point would be, trade deficit, as both the countries is right now facing a huge trade deficit. Both the countries used to trade approx $100 billion, and in those $100 billion, there is a trade deficit of $50 billion. So that's a very huge. So countries should make efforts to narrow that trade deficit. Then both the countries will further improve their relations. And the last point would be that confidence building measures, as China breached trust of India in 1962 and then in Galwan Valley clash. So obviously that's a huge breach of trust. So now it's at high time that both the countries should make efforts, to to take confidence building measures. And both the countries look different steps how to build confidence. Uh, with their talks, with their discussions. So talks and discussion is the only way forward to improve both the countries' relations. So yes, these are a few steps. So let's conclude our discussion. So in this entire discussion, we have discussed each and every aspect of both the countries' relations. We have discussed entire historical significance, how relations between both the countries, shaped over the years. Um, what is the present day scenario? So overall, both the countries are neighboring country. Yes, there is a very wise saying that we can change our friends, but we cannot change our neighbors. So till the time we don't um, respect each other, territorial integrity and sovereignty, we won't see much evident result on the ground. And as India is a democratic country, always open for their neighbors and always open to have our discussions. So both the countries should uh, use these kind of dialogues, discussions to improve their friction points to come for a mutual consensus, then obviously both the countries can easily improve their relations, as both countries are emerging power in Asia. Uh, so we all know that what is happening in Asia. Sri Lanka is in crisis, Bangladesh is in crisis. So these are the big players in Asia, and they act like a big brother. So they should make a good relations in order to maintain a global, peace and stability. So yes, with this, I'm going to wrap up this session. Thank you. Have a good day.